Howdy, folks. Welcome, one and all, to Chatting with Javi. I'm just getting ready to do some spindle controllers. The only thing I'm missing is the apparently my connectors are AWOL, so I'm looking for them in one of the boxes here. Let's see. Aha! I remember where I put them. Okay, this is a controller. Three-pin connectors. Welcome, one and all, to the weekly show, to the, daily show this week, because I'll be here all week. I'll be here Monday through Friday, soldering with Javi, chatting with Javi, etc., etc., etc. Here are the limit switches that I need. So today, I'll be soldering some spindle cables. I'll explain to you what it is. And by the way, on Saturdays, this is just chatting, and it's a very informal show. On the formal show on Saturday, this week, I will have a few ideas in case some of you have college kids. I'm going to have 5 or 10 college or graduation projects, for the outgoing. It just so happens that my daughter is heading off to her dorm, and so I want to give her a couple things to remember us by. And as such, that's what I'm planning for Saturday. Hi, Dave. How's it going? Good to see you. Let's see. I'm trying to see what trying to get my see. This is why, folks. This is why I don't like to do one thing. I like to do 10 of one thing or 20 of one thing. But what happens is there are so many different. Hey, Bobby, how's it going? Hey, Troy. There are so many different. How shall I put it? Systems, procedures, whatever. That's not it. Operations. There are so many different things that I do regarding the Javi boxes that I do not want to I don't want to retool, for lack of a better word. Because here's what happens. Like right now, I haven't done a spindle controller in a while. Now I'm doing a spindle controller. I'm trying to remember the colors of the wire. I'm trying to remember all the details, and it's not easy. And remembering the polarity on all that stuff, because you don't do enough of them to. And I'm not that young anymore either, so there is that too. But the bottom line is, I find it very inefficient to do one thing and then move on to the next. Because in my case, the next thing involves, if I do just one controller, And then I start building, say, wiring a panel for the Javi box. Now I'm not thinking of these two colors go to this relay or these two colors. I'll explain now what's going through my mind for this thing. But rather I'm going through, oh my God, what now? What do I do first? And yeah, I have to, when you're in the zone, you're in the zone. For instance, like right now, I'm going to take a 3-pin controller. There are 2 sets of wires that are required for a Javi box spindle cable. This is the spindle cable that goes to the Javi box. Now, the Javi box has 2 different outputs. One of them is the outputs, the 4 different outputs. Output 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's one plug. The other one is the spindle controller output, which has 0 to 10 volts. So while one has a 24-volt output when you turn the spindle on, the other one has a 0 to 10-volt output for the speed. And so I have to wire, I could use just 4 wires. 2 of the wires have to go to one type of connector. 2 of the wires go to another. And so 2 of the wires right now go to the and this is why I'm not confused, but it takes a while to recalibrate my brain to do this. For instance, now I have to think which heat shrink and heat shrink sizes, et cetera, do I need to put in here? So I don't know. It's blue. It doesn't really matter what color. And I'll put red here, whatever. So I've got my heat shrink in. I've got my wires in. Now all I got to do is solder them. And I've got the most important part is the, obviously the connector's got to go first. Now I'm plugged in. I'm looking at the wires. The bottom is, I need these things. The bottom is, that's the part now that gets goofy. I have to see exactly which one I have to wire to. Okay, so this goes in this way, like so. Bottom is, see what I'm talking about? It's not my day today to be thinking quickly. It's been a long day. I've done a lot of things today, so I mean I've been taking care of some logistics with work, my real work. I've been taking care of some issues with the dealing with the architect. Well, not dealing with just providing him some information that they needed. So yeah, it's been a tiring day, and now I'm here doing these things. So I'm going to go back, for those of you that haven't bought one yet, for those of you that want to buy a Javi box within the next day or two, I can probably guarantee you that you're going to receive it within a week or two. But everybody after that, I'm sorry, folks. I'm no promises. It's gonna be 4 to 6 weeks from now on, no matter who you are, because I'm tired of I somebody says, oh please, I need this part, etc., and then all of a sudden I find myself making a promise to them because I can't say no sometimes, and that's just hang on, let me let Russ in the stream here. Hey Russ, welcome. And so I find that that's not very conducive to me because that just adds stress. And I don't know about some of you guys how you handle stress, but I'll tell you right now, I handle stress by shutting down. And luckily, my other businesses, not that this is a business, but my businesses afford me the luxury of not having to be there and shutting down. This one just adds to the stress. So, how's it going, Russ?
Oh, it's all right. What's going on?
Nothing much. I promised the guy that I'd have a controller done by tomorrow, and it's just I should never promise these things. And here's the thing: I had my schedule with all my hobby boxes up, and I was getting ahead before that whole issue with the with at the property. I was getting way ahead.
Mm-hmm.
To the point that I expected to be done by August 3rd, all the current boxes. Therefore, anybody that came in new and the people that were there, I say, oh yeah, no problem, and I upped on the build. I've got a build status page on my website site, and I upped all the things. See, I can't. I mean, I push them back when I have to, but they're only estimates. But the thing is, it's not nice to promise somebody. I mean, I should have started from the beginning, and I left the August 4th date, August 14th day, and then what I did was I shifted back to August 3rd. Then I'm all stressed out, couldn't finish it, and then I had to pack everything up. So then it became August 8th. So now, instead of leaving it at August 14th and then let them deal with the mute yourself, Russ.
I would if I could.
You can't?
I can't. I don't. I left it.
Oh, sorry. I'll mute you then. But yeah, and continue explaining. I'm sorry. It was just a little.
Well,
and so yeah. So folks, I was just a little stressed out this week. That's why I'm doing this every week this week, seeing if I can catch up and relax a little while. Because I normally take on. I'm very good with my scheduling, and I take on just the right amount, and I rarely have any surprises. But when the surprises come, they throw me for a loop. Particularly when they're not pleasant surprises, as I had a month ago. There we go. So there we go.
If you see me, turn my camera off and turn my mic off, that's because I'm sitting here eating this Subway sandwich.
No worries. That's not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah. So so like I said, I'm trying to just recover from it, and I want to get to the point that I am ahead with all the items, but it never seems to work out that way. As soon as I get the slightest bit caught up, and I mean, obviously there's two solutions: either work harder, and no, that's not an option, or raise the prices. And then if I raise the prices again, then I expect the orders will slow down, and that's not a problem for me because right now it's barely paying for my time. So if it becomes worthwhile, but I don't see that happening either. So let's see. We got these two. Okay, these two go to a male connector.
Clyde Labonte just joined us.
Hey, Clyde, how's it going? Good evening. So yeah, it's the good thing is that it's time consuming everything I'm doing, but I mean I've done it so often that I rarely I don't have any errors, and when I do have the occasional misfire, I guess you can call it, it's easily correctable. So I don't lose time there. I lose time overall when there's a lot of orders and they're unexpected and I really want to get them out. But
so you put the pressure on yourself to get this one out.
Yeah. Yep, that's exactly what I did. Just put the pressure on myself to get this one out, and I gotta take it easy. Because the thing is, it's been almost a month. So you'd think a spindle cable doesn't take a month to create. Well, it doesn't. But when he ordered it by itself, it was after 4 different orders. So I put people in order. I'm not going to jump somebody ahead of time and take an hour to create a cable or however long it takes to set up, create the cable alone. And then, I was talking earlier about the need to bundle stuff up together when I'm building a bunch of boxes. So I had to get the boxes out first. Now he's on the top of the list, but 3 weeks have passed, so that's another thing that upsets me. So bottom line is, next time somebody orders just an accessory, I'm sorry, it takes as long as it takes, whether it's a Javi box or whether it's a cable or whatever. I don't care what it is. It's going to take the same amount of time because they're in order, and
right.
you got to wait your turn.
Yeah, we just got Dave Clemens and Big D and Michael Bell and Steve Misser says you're all blurry.
I'm all blurry. Let's see.
You're blurry to me too.
All right, let me see if I can do something about that. Stand by. Let me check the. Let me come back in. I'll be right back.
All right.
That usually works. Is it better or is it still blurry?
All I see is me. Oh, it's better.
Okay, let me make sure that I'm on the higher resolution. But
Paul Stewart just joined us as well. Hello, Paul.
Better, you say then?
I said Paul Stewart just joined us, and it's better.
Okay, perfect.
Well, it was. Now it was. Come on back and let's see.
What?
You're still blurry.
Well, let me see if it's the camera. Hang on a second.
Clyde says maybe you have a lousy IP.
Well, at the moment, the camera doesn't help. But at the moment, I am in the. Let me see if I can get this thing so it doesn't. That'll do. Yeah, at the moment, there's nothing I can do about it because I am the rest of my family is streaming like crazy.
Oh, I can imagine.
So I'm stuck. And I get 25 download, so that's not a problem up here. It's just I've never had an issue with it. The problem is I've got an older daughter, a younger daughter, and my wife. All of them are streaming. Plus, I have another Wi-Fi connection here, so I can see the chat. then I don't have to turn around there. Next week when I organize this, and I'll prioritize my streams so everybody else can bite me, and that's not nice to say about my family.
Don't
but
get
still,
off the rails. Don't do that.
No, the rest of my family can just wait it out.
Yeah. Well, if it's like mine, I only have a wife, and I can't wait it out.
Yeah.
She doesn't care about any of this, and she does what she wants to do,
as it should be.
Yeah, there it is. So I'm gonna blank the screen and start chomping on this sandwich. But I'm
Go ahead. All righty.
Hey man, where them 4 thumbs down comes from?
Where them what?
You got 4 thumbs down.
Oh, well.
Which one of you jacklegs gave him a thumbs down?
Nah, it's just somebody tuning in and they don't like they're not into soldering.
All right, let me get back on this.
Actually, come to think about it, the last time we had the 11-year-olds was on a Monday, so apparently they don't have enough friends, is what I figure. They don't have enough friends, and so they're watching my show because they're not out with their friends. And then they don't like my show because they're too dumb to understand any of it. And therefore, see, there's always a reason for a thumbs down. It's always a very, very logical reason, and I can always explain it. It's either because somebody's mean and they'll go to hell, or spend a number of a few hundred years in purgatory, or die early. Any one of those three, karma accepts.
Yes.
Or they don't have any friends, and they're angry because they don't have any friends, so they're insecure. Which is you could tell that they don't have any friends because they're insecure. I mean, you could tell they're insecure because number one, they don't have any friends. Number two, anybody that puts a thumbs down for any reason is just plain insecure of themselves. So that's another reason. Let's see what's another good reason. They're a child. They're just plain stupid. I mean, and I'm not even going to go into political sides here. Because I have met a lot of smart Democrats and a lot of smart Republicans, so you can't blame it on that. Although, I will say that both sides, the dumb people on both sides, will give each other a run for their money. Okay, so I have the power and I have so 2 of these connections will go directly so now I got to think. This is the problem that it's always a pain in the butt. Okay, so I got red and black, therefore, and I got the power. Red and black is yellow and blue are the ones that are going to go to the relay. Yeah, I agree with Clyde. They're just plain a dollar signs. I got to tell you, folks. I'm sorry. In about a month or so, I'll be hopefully getting a new prescription. I don't know what happened last time, but either my eyes have gotten out of whack very quickly this past year, more than normal, or frankly, they gave me a lousy prescription because I think I'm gonna. The thing is, if I wear those binoculars that those jewelers glasses, I end up getting a headache.
Yeah.
But oh well. You were saying?
It's just that talking about that subject. My wife was sitting at the computer, and she's got a prescription, some glasses, but she still can't see the computer that well for text. So she goes and gets a pair of readers.
Yeah.
And magnify, I think, 2, maybe 1.5, 2, and stick them on so she's wearing 2 pairs of glasses.
I do that all the time.
She can see it perfectly. But, sometimes she'll forget and get up and walk out with those things on her head. And she says, oh, my God, I can't see nothing. But remember to take the glasses off.
Yeah. Well, what I'm going to do now, what I'm going to do when I get my glasses is I'm going back to contacts. For a while, I had contacts, and then I was happy because of the glasses, because contacts don't allow me to see as well as glasses. However, when I'm out there working on the property, oh my God, glasses are just the most annoying thing in the world, because I'm either working in the rain and they're getting all filled with water, or it's hot. I'm sweating, and they just plain fog up. So and now with the masks, forget it. I am.
Oh yeah, it's a real pain in the tail.
Yeah. Now I just can't stand it anymore. Now, give me contacts. So.
I can't go with the contacts. I have to be in glasses.
Yeah.
Well, I'm one of those guys that have a phobia about the eyes.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah, I can't take it. If I get sawdust in my eyes and I can't get it out, I have to tell the wife to bring me to the emergency room.
Yeah.
And I tell them to get them some help to hold me down. I'm telling you straight up, I can't stand them things. I feel like the mothership, and they're coming at me with the needles in there. I just can't take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Nothing really else really bothers me, but the eyes, I just can't stand that.
Yeah, first time I started putting on contacts, I've never had. It was a little disconcerting the first time, because you're sticking your finger in your eye, et cetera, and you're told never to stick your finger in your eye. But you know what?
Mm-hmm.
After doing it the first time, every time after that has been just a piece of cake, and it's like normal. I can pop them out, I can put them in, not an issue.
I'll tell you like how it is for me. I could stand next to you and I could watch you putting that thing in your eye. I could watch you taking it out. And my tears would be running down my face.
Yeah.
It's that bad. I cannot stand. I don't know why. I'm just one of those guys. People got phobias, and I understand it now because I just can't do it. It unnerves me to no end. I have to apologize ahead of time to them. And I told the doctor one time, he came to look at me. I said, "You better get you some help." I said, "I'm not trying to be mean. It's just I have a phobia about this, and I cannot stand it. Y'all gonna have to hold me down."
Yeah, the only thing that I have an issue with is I really love glasses for one reason. I hate glasses. I'd rather not wear them at all, but I like them for one reason, and that is that they protect my eyes when I forget, because I never really I'm older now, and I do, but I never think about safety glasses. Never think about it.
I got some that they're covered in sawdust.
Yeah, Yeah, I got a few covered in sawdust, but yeah, basically, um, I don't want to think about it. However, I mean, well, I've been getting to the point now. Like when I mow the lawn, it's very dusty. If I love mowing it when there's been a slight rain, because then I could mow it, and because of all the leaves that I have, when I mow, you could tell because the leaves are clean where it's not mowed, and the leaves are dirty, churned up with dirt where I did mow. So I could always tell, which it's a lot very difficult when it's dry, because for the life of me, it is so hard to follow my path. I mean, you're talking
Right.
5 acres, and you'd think that 5 feet is a good width to mow, but it's nothing. It's nothing compared to 5 acres. I mean, cause when you're mowing around 5 acres, by the time you go around the whole thing, 10 minutes have passed. And and now, if it was all grassy and high, it's a piece of cake. I see exactly where I mowed. But parts of it are grassy, the other parts are weeds here and there. I mean, and add to that, you've got a maze. You've got 168 trees that you got to navigate around.
Oh yeah.
And top of that, to top everything off, it's a skewed trapezoid. So
Oh boy.
so first of all, there's an optical illusion with the trees. Second of all, there's an optical illusion with the property lines. And third of all, parts that you think are smaller and you're going to finish quicker, you end up being the last parts, and then parts that you see, that's a tiny little area. I mean, that's a huge area, and then you're done with it immediately. It's a very strange and I'm working on it, but I still haven't found my path. I haven't found my path. I haven't found the path to complete the mowing. Well, anyway, getting back to that, what I have been doing is, like I said, I've been trying to uh, put on my glasses every time. Not my glasses. That doesn't help. When I mow, I have to put on my dust mask and my and my the other glasses, the ones that cover you all around, which is a pain, which is an extreme pain, because you're talking about okay, let me see here. Okay, these all go out the same place. Perfect. Because you're talking about fogging. I mean, the place is in a huge fog. It's, well, anyway, it's not fun.
Yeah. Well, I tried the neck gaiters that we got from Makers Media,
Yeah,
and I put that on, and it was a dry day, and I was cutting my front yard, and I've got a little 42-inch zero turn,
right.
and it was skeeting up dust, and we had a windy day, so I thought I'm gonna wear that neck gaiter and my glasses, and
Yeah.
believe me, I still smelt the dust.
Oh yeah. No, the neck gaiter doesn't do anything for you. I mean,
No, I thought it might help a little.
the only reason I bought it was to have something to put on, for the naysayers, you can have a mask. Screw you. I'll just put this thing on. Looks like
My
a
wife,
mask. Looks like a
yeah,
mask. They'll be happy. It
my
doesn't do
wife has
jack.
been saying the same thing with about the mask. She said, "I'm so sick of these things, and they're hot." And
Yeah, and the worst part is, like I said, the worst part about them is the fact that they fog up your glasses.
yeah, Let me answer Dave Clemens. He
ahead.
asked where my video feed was. I've got it turned off at the moment, Dave. I'm chowing on this Subway sandwich, and I didn't want y'all to see me eating while we're on this hangout. So that's why camera's turned off.
He's camera shy. He's embarrassed.
I am when I'm eating. I don't want everybody to see me shoving this stuff in my throat.
I do. I do it all the time. I don't
At
care.
least it's not. At least it's not kale.
Yeah, that's true. All righty.
Let me go ahead and give him a shot of my ugly mug.
All righty. So I have the. Should have left the longer cable. Oh well, I'll do it for the next one. Tough luck, too bad, so sad. Okay. Well, this one's almost completed. There's one last thing that I have to do. And that is I must label them. Yeah, I'm the same way, Dave. I also have I mean, what I ended up doing just for comfort's sake, those neck gaiters are a pain in the butt because they're too tight. You know, they're great, but they're very uncomfortable. So what I ended up doing was I bought I mean, since I can sublimate and all that stuff, I bought a 5-pack or a 10-pack or a 20-pack. I don't know, whatever I bought. I just went on Amazon and went crazy, and I bought a bunch of blanks. I can sublimate them, I can print them, whatever. Put my own stuff on there, like under protest or whatever, and I'll wear a mask. It's my own mask. It's one of the comfortable ones that has the nose thing up to there. It still fogs up so it's annoying, but it is what it is. Okay, so
yeah, you have to put the glasses on the outside of the mask. That's what I do. It doesn't fog that way, but they don't stay there. That's the problem.
yeah, that's the problem. Let's see here. Whew. Okay, I got ACM, I got DCM, I got forward. Where's my forward? There it is. And I've got my VI. Okay. So VI goes here. Let me strip these two. I'm just, like I said, I'm so tired today. And
It's like it's going to be a short show then.
well, yeah, I don't know what I'm 8:40. Yeah, I just don't know why I am so tired. Okay, so this will be ACM, if I'm not mistaken. And if I am, well, then the guy won't function. He'll call me, and then I'll find out what it is. And then, of course, forward and DCM, and that doesn't make any difference which one.
Stop, Susie. Sit down and behave.
One of the doggies having an issue.
Yeah, she's about to start growling at me for not giving her any food.
Ah,
She's one of the other one just was sitting and look, hope I give him something.
yeah.
But her, she's gonna start gurgling and everything else and crying and
Eh, okay. We have our cable assembly. 40 minutes. See, now if I were to right now, or if I were to have prepared 10 of them, I could probably have knocked out the next 10 in half an hour easily. Because now that I did the first one, I know exactly the procedure. It's 4 solder points. It's a little bit of glue and it's some labeling. I mean, it's very very and this so. But again, this is the kind of thing I hate is that when it's one item, but I have to do it because it's part of my part of my part of the features I incorporated into the Javi box. The ability to control your spindle. And that's a very worthwhile feature. If I can only find, I remember where I put them. I put them over here somewhere. I think I had way too much steak today. You know, it's funny. When I have steak, I normally feel energized. I normally feel like,
not today, huh?
no, not today. Not by a long shot.
That's what I was eating from Subway. Their steak sandwich.
How do you doing, Marv? How you doing, Marvin? Mervin? I'm just, yay, one done. And I don't feel like doing any more, so I'm not gonna.
Hello, Mervin. Look, Glenn Helmig showed up.
Hey, Glenn, how's it going?
Had to take care of the puppy. Well, I've got 2 here trying to get my food.
No worries, I hear you. Yeah, I like this little setup, but tomorrow I'm gonna see if tomorrow I get a chance. I'm gonna build my my workbench. I'm gonna do exactly what I did at the other place. I'm gonna put a board here, a short board here, and a top board here, so I can stack stuff on top, and then
Yeah.
I've got some more lights I ordered. So I ordered some Amazon lights. I ordered some outlets, and I figure, I'm going to use them eventually. So today, folks, I bought this. I don't know about you guys, but my hands, you can call it carpal tunnel if you like, but basically swollen muscles choke off the blood supply, and your hands, when they're swollen, they're very well, they fall asleep or they whatever the case may be. Well, especially when you do a lot of little intricate work like this. So I bought a hand massager. And it's interesting. I don't know. I still haven't decided whether it's good or it's bad, but I'm beginning to get used to it. It's you put your whole hand inside this thing, and it's got air pressure. It's got like these dimples. They call them acupressure points. All it is plastic little nibs inside the thing, and it's shaped where the palm of your hand. It's got a little raised area for the palm of your hand, but basically you stick your hand in, and it'll basically pressurize and depressurize, kind of like a blood pressure cuff, if you will.
Right. Okay.
The wrist and the whole entire hand. I mean, this thing will flatten your hand, So it, but at first I thought it was going to be like I'd love to have something, like, when the wife pulls your fingers or
Mhm.
squeezes or massages, real massage. I thought it was going to be something like that. It turns out it's just basically two squeezing air baffles, one by the hand and one by the wrist. I think one by the palm also, so it might be three. It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, overall, the first time I thought I was a little uh uh what's the word? Not impressed, Little what's the word? Not disingenuine. Not disillusioned.
Hmm.
Oh God, what's the word? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Not
Someone will.
dissatisfied, huh?
No, not dissatisfied. It is when you're expecting something good and then you're ah
Kind of let down.
let down. That's it. I was let down, and then disappointed. I knew there was a
Hey.
dis word. I was. It was a simple word. Man, I'm really tired. So I was disappointed a little bit because it was not what I expected. But the second time and the third time I used this day, I used it like 4 or 5 times already. Second and third time I used it, you know what? It's better. It's better. And yeah, Mervin, when it squeezes my fingers, all sorts of noises come out of me.
Folks, you don't want to be around to hear those.
That's that there's funny. Anyway, but no, it's very nice. I sit on the couch. I lay this thing down. It almost looks like it's just one big, flat tube. Uh, so it's kind of funny. It almost looks. I could paint it gold and probably put some emeralds on it and make it look like Thanos's.
Oh Lord.
The glove of
Yeah.
Thanos, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It works on both hands, and it works. I mean, it when when I take my hand out of there, probably because it's been squeezed so often, the blood flows into it, and I feel it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt now, but it's a little sore now. But with the well, so anyway, that's been my weekend.
Mm.
Well, that's not all my weekend. That was just a glimpse of a. Got new shoes. Very, very happy. Well, it's the same exact. Every 6 months to a year, I get a new pair of sneakers, and I wear boots when I'm out on the property, but around here and stuff like that, I wear these very comfortable Skechers,
Hmm.
and I have these silicone laces. I love the silicone laces. I don't have to worry about tying my shoes. I bend down, I lift the tongue, I slip on with the
Shoehorn.
shoehorn,
Hey man,
and
you've been watching me?
it's done.
I
It's
do the
done.
same thing.
I love the silicone. I love those silicone shoelaces because they turn any sneaker into a slipper. And I hate slippers. I don't like sandals. I don't like Crocs. I can't stand any of that stuff. I want a full blown shoe around me. Not none of this, you know,
Yeah.
hippie, disgusting toe jam producing. I don't like any of that. I don't like any of that garbage. That's just not me. Um. Oh, Glenn, you got the webcam. It works great. Excellent, excellent. Oh, for the wife, for dance class. It was for the wife's computer for her dance class, and you got yelled at for 65. Let me tell you, for 65, it's a steal. Tell her to look around for something of that quality for less than 200, and she'll be hard pressed to find it, And yeah, I once Dave, I once went to a hand doctor when I was doing a lot of drilling at one time, drilling with a drill, and it was repetitive. It got to the point that my whole hand, I couldn't close my fingers. Now, I could, I mean, as overweight as I am, I could still touch all my fingers to my thumb. I couldn't do that. It was so puffy and swollen. I could barely, none of them. Maybe the index finger if I was lucky, but the rest of them, forget it. And I went to a hand specialist, and he showed me. He said I had good grip, but basically, and he explained the whole procedure and all this. And he said if I wanted to, he can give me a shot of cortisone that'll remove. And I don't want no shot of cortisone or anything. If you can give me a shot of cortisone to fix it, odds are 90% that if I rest it and ice it, it'll and a little Advil, it'll get well on its own.
Mhm.
That's a doctor told me that once, and I firmly believe it because it's always been the case. And sure enough, it got better. And I got a little bit scared because I had a friend of mine who had he had CFS, he had chronic fatigue syndrome, and he had carpal tunnel. He had the operation, and he went through so much therapy. It makes me think that, if he didn't have the carpal tunnel and he rested his hand and then he went through the therapy, I wonder if he'd be better off. But I mean, I don't know what to tell you. They looked at my hand, and they x-rayed it and everything, and they said that because of my structure, basically, I mean, I've got a big bone, but there's a lot going in there, and they said that the area that it's going through, they can't really widen it much more than it is now. So there's nothing I can. I mean, he recommended that I just that I rest it, and whenever it happens, I rest it. Another doctor just told me lose weight and it'll all go away. So, but that means I don't get to enjoy food. So that's not good.
No, that's not.
Or a certain amount of it. Good evening, Maker 238, Deloach. And no, the $20 from Walmart. Oh boy.
You'll get what Javi's got right now.
Look, tell her to buy the $20 one from Walmart, and tell her that if it works better than yours, you'll happily return it on Amazon. If it doesn't, she's got to go back to Walmart and return the $20 one. And I guarantee you won't have to lift a finger for the envelope, because that $20 one will be the biggest piece of garbage. Not only that, what you got to understand is, I mean, I was giving you good advice when I told you about the length, about the focal length. Those little ones from Walmart. Let me see if I can connect one of them. One of those, because I have a similar one. Let me see. Yeah, there it is. From Walmart. Here's my 20.
Every one of y'all telling me he looks so much better with the $20 one.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
you heard me?
Yeah, I don't think so. Let me see if I have an extra. If I even have an extra. No, I don't. Let's see what I can do here. All right, let me shut off my camera real quick, and I'll be right back. Well, I'm still here, but I'm gonna. Let me see here. Stop cam, and I will put on the other one right now and show you what the difference is.
Ben said he told his wife that the web camera was his. He just let her use it.
There you go.
I'll see how that's going to go, Glenn. I don't believe it's going to work.
Yeah, she'll appropriate it in no time, so don't worry about
long.
it. And she'll tell you to go get a $20 one for yourself. At that point, you get the $20 one and then swap it.
Yeah, she'll never know the difference.
Well, she'll know the difference, but hon, what's wrong with my camera? I don't know. What did you do? Okay, let me see if I can get this thing here. The crazy things we go through. Okay, so let me see if it starts up. Yeah, sure enough. Okay, so the camera is in the same location as my other camera. Okay, now you remember the view from before. I'm going to sit in my chair.
Wow.
I am sitting in my chair, and I am approximately. Well, look at my. Oh my God! My hand is 5 feet from the camera. Yet, you can pretty much make out the hairs. Well, so now, is this good? I don't know about you, but I don't feel like putting the camera, opening up a wall in order to put the camera on my car in the driveway so it can shoot in through an open hole and film me. But anyway, and not to mention the fact that let me go back there and see how it is as far as quality.
You were pretty blurry.
Am I blurry now?
Oh, heck yeah.
All right. Well,
You
there
were
you
blurry
go.
up close, too.
Yeah, this is the $20 camera, folks. This is what you're going to get at Walmart. So, dance class, right now I'm talking to you from 18 feet away from my camera. Okay? I'm going to stretch my arm. Let me see. Here's one arm and forget the other one. Well, forget it. Okay. I'm at one side of my screen, and I can stretch a half, basically from one shoulder to the arm. I want you to note that because I'm going to switch to the other camera now, to the cheap $65 one. I wonder if this will automatically switch or if it'll crash. Let's find out, shall we?
Well, Dave Gatton was asking how come you're so blurry and why they got 4 thumbs down. Has you been messing with them kids again?
No, that's because he came late and he didn't hear the whole explanation. All right. So now, folks, I'm not even at the door like I was before here. Last time I was back here, okay? So, is there a difference? This is me stretching both hands out. Before it covered from this hand to here.
Yeah.
Now it's the whole thing, and pretty much from my broom. I mean, that thing is in a 10 by 20 room or 10 by 18 room, and it probably is reaching. The only place it can't reach is the first 6 feet, and then there it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's
yeah,
and that's it. Well, it makes sense. 90 degrees, that's 45-degree angles. If it was dead center, then it'd be 5 feet from either wall, so it would be 5 foot distance, and there you go. So now you've seen a little bit of something on. So there you go. It's still blurry, just a whole lot more blurry. Yeah. Well, that's the internet connection. I've got basically 4 people streaming, and some of them have 2 streams on. My daughter is right now doing a Netflix party. So pretty soon, one of my daughters, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but pretty soon one of them will be off to college. So, and then 2 years from now, both will be, and I know I'll be moving to a location that has worse internet, but hopefully I'll have a decent connection then. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. Well, I finished my cable, so I did what I came to do.
You're right at the top of the hour.
Yeah, but I usually go an hour and a half with these.
Ah, okay.
Uh, I'll just chill back and chat. Little entertainment value here.
Well, Glenn said he was glad he got the camera you suggested.
Yeah, it's a great camera. I got to tell you, it's I also suggested that one for Dave, and he did his live stream, and it was fantastic. And this one right now, it's the same camera. It's fantastic. The reason why it's blurry is clearly it's the internet speed, has nothing to do with the camera itself. But I'll tell you, I mean, I might actually consider switching computers and seeing if that makes any difference, because I've got it on my Mac right now, and I've got a very long extension cable on it. I think I might try this little Windows computer there. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah. See, I made the mistake, Glenn. That's why I advised to you the focus free camera, because I've actually now have 3 of those cameras. One of them is a manual focus. The other 2 are autofocus. And I do not like the manual focus whatsoever. I have it on my desk where I'm always in front of it if I'm streaming. So there's nothing. That's the one you've seen in the other room where it's perfectly fine. It's a very clear picture, but if I move 5 or 6 feet away, then it'll start to get blurry. But that's the lens itself. Let me shut this off. Yeah, I'm in. It's funny. I'm in. I'm in one of those moods today, I guess. Okay, so let me share what I did today. Aside from changing the shoelaces on my shoe. So early this morning, I got on with the architect that took care of that issue. Or I got on and took care of some other issues, some other administrative details and work and stuff. And then noon rolls around, make myself so I make some delicious meat and potatoes leftovers. I had a stew, a meat and potato. It was a slow cooked stew, and I made it yesterday, and it was delicious. I had white rice with it. It was all mixed together in sort of a risotto. It was it had golden mushroom Campbell soup in it, added to it, and the other one, the
cream of
beef
chicken?
broth with mushroom.
Beef broth.
No,
okay.
It was a beef mushroom or mushroom and beef broth or something like that. I do have cream of chicken, but I'm saving that for that one I use for my copycat recipe for the hash brown casserole, the Cracker Barrel hash brown casserole. They use they specifically call
theirs.
for cream of chicken for them.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's delicious. And I make a mean hash brown casserole and a mean potato soup as well. Well, so anyway, so I had some of that. That was delicious. And then I realized, oh my God, this guys, I'll give you a piece of advice if you're ever in one of those, if you're in that world, whether you're in business with woodworking or whether you're doing hobbies for woodworking, always never overestimate your time or underestimate your time, and most importantly, your money. I didn't lose any money, but I did a favor for a friend, and you'll be seeing it on Saturday's show because it's one of my items for a college dorm. I'm not going to share what it is because I'm not until Saturday, because the youngster, which is a friend of the family, may be watching, and I don't want to give away any surprises. But her mom asked me for something, and I made it for her. But you know, it's something that took me 3 or 4 hours to design, and then to make, and then the sanding, and it's just raw wood. I didn't paint it or anything, and it was a $50 deal, but $50 for 3 hours work, you know, it's a friend, so it was fine, and I don't have a problem. But the timing was just rotten because she needed it because this week her child leaves, so she needed it immediately.
Yeah.
And like an idiot, I go, yeah, sure, no problem. Because although I've learned in my business life, I've learned when I'm in business mode and I'm talking to a customer, I'm real good at saying no. I'm real good at raising my price and not negotiation, basically, and not caring whether they leave or not. If they want my services, which are very sought after, they will pay the price. If not, I have no problem, no ill will, and I'm happy to say have a nice day and move on to the next one. But it took me a while to get there because in the beginning I didn't want to lose a single job. So much so that I lost money on numerous jobs. And then I raised my prices and I didn't lose money, but I didn't want to say no to any jobs. Then I lost my reputation. This was a number of years back, but then I lost my reputation because I took on more jobs than I could handle. And I was juggling time. I was juggling. And in the end, I basically had to let down a number of 2 or 3 very, very good customers. Yeah, I'll never forget. And I know he's not listening, but Robert Clem, I'm talking about you. He's a photographer, and I feel guilty to this very day that I said yes to something, and I came through at the last minute, but it was something that I shouldn't have said yes to at the beginning. Should not have said yes. I had too many other projects going on at the same time, other jobs. So, folks, take my advice. So that is why I am a little tired and a little stressful, is because it wasn't just doing the project, and it wasn't just doing this. Now, where did I put it? It wasn't just doing this cable for a customer that I shouldn't have promised him tomorrow. It was the stress involved in pushing myself, and that just takes everything out of you. I mean, it does for me anyway. Some people can handle that type of stress. I can handle other types of stress, not that one. And that's it. That's the Javi's lesson for the evening.
Free of charge, folks. Free of charge.
I hope it serves you better than, I hope you fare better than I. But yeah, I am I'm looking forward to doing the next batch of cables. Yeah, I just can't get, I miss my little bench. I can't get animated with this thing. I don't like this chair. I don't like this bench. You know what? I'm ordering a new chair.
Oh boy, here you go.
Nah. Yep. See, that's I mean,
Amazon saw you coming, man.
That's not a problem. Amazon is it's a good price and it's a convenience for me, and it's gotten to the point where, I mean, some people have an issue where, they got to budget themselves, and I have that issue as well, but I am so under budget every month that I kind of don't have that issue. I still have a budget, so there's an issue. But the fact that I never hit my budget
Yeah,
is a good thing,
it's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. I don't go crazy. I don't go, oh, well, I can afford a Mercedes, so let's buy a Mercedes. No, no. I'm not into the Lexus or the Mercedes or the stuff like that stuff. I can afford two or three of them. Well, what the hell am I? I only got two hands. I'm not going to drive two or three. I like my truck.
Yeah,
So,
I hear you.
sorry, things like that. It's and then what do you do? You go into Hawk for a car that you gotta spend a lot of money to maintain and stuff.
Yeah,
Other people, I that's fine for some people. That is, I mean, there's this guy. There was this teacher that I met once, and for the life of me, I almost didn't understand them. I understand them. I mean, during my networking days. You guys haven't seen me in suits, but during my networking days, I have 17, 20 suits in the closet still. Uh, Maybe three of them fit now, but but for a while there, I had 17 suits that fit all perfectly fine, and I would be wearing a different suit every day. It wasn't extravagance or anything like that. I was wearing suits daily because I was talking to a bunch of business associates, et cetera, et cetera. And I met this one guy who I swear he was always dressed in the finest attire. He would wear suits more than once, but they were $1,500 suits. You know, my suits were in the $100 to $500 range, so it wasn't really anything extravagant. But $1,500 suits, and up. He wore silk shirts every day, and every day was a different silk shirt. He wore silk ties every day, and every day was a different silk tie. So, I asked him about it, and I go, "Listen, why do you uh, don't you want to spend your money on something practical, things like that? Or like because most of us would not spend $100 or $150 on a shirt.
not
We'd
me.
buy we'd buy two or three sets of tools, uh, or a whole bunch of wood and have at it and have a blast.
Hmm.
But I mean, this crowd anyway. I know I would now. Um, Back when I was younger, I'd probably spend it on scuba equipment. It all depends on what you're interested in. Well, this guy basically told me, listen, it I work hard for my money, and I like wearing good clothes. I like to dress nice. That's my thing. And it was his thing. That was his pleasure in life. Um I wouldn't I couldn't agree with it, but I could understand it. It's
Yeah.
like, like the old stereotypical women's shoes, you I you can't understand how women can have so many shoes. Well, the women can't understand how can have so many tools. Uh or actually so many of the same tool, I should
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Because different tools you can kind of understand that, but when you have like seven routers, it's well anyway, so this guy basically he he was an interesting sort, and and I've never been one for um spending beyond my needs, you know. So and but at the same time, I'm not one that limits my income to what I can get by with. And that's might come as harsh words to some people, but And people are different. Some people, they're fine and happy making as much as they need and no more. I will make as much as I need and a bit more, considerably more. Not to the point that, I'm not like one of those guys that how much money you make is the scorecard, and enough is never enough. There is a point at which it's enough. Case in point, if I thought enough is never enough, I wouldn't be here during this show. I'd be out there busting my butt with another 2 or 3 painting crews and working my butt off and neglecting my family and I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
Balance again. Balance. All I can stress in life is find your balance. Oh, by the way, it's an ongoing thing. I found mine and then I lost it, then I found it again, then I lose it, and then I find it. So, it's an ongoing thing. The rule, yeah,
That's a
Jim,
good rule to have.
Jim's got the perfect rule that it's one router for every bit you have. That is absolutely correct. And
Well, I have a few routers to go then, by gosh. I only got 30.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't have I got 17, so I still have a few too. But again, 5 or 6 of them are not running.
Yeah.
So why do I keep them? Well, there's my other problem.
It just adds to the stuff.
Yeah, it's the haven't gotten around to it factor. Because at one time it was, when you're younger. Why is this thing beeping? There we go. At one time, when you're younger, or when I was younger, it's the what the shirt says: the one who dies with the most toys wins, and it was all about amassing more stuff. And then pretty soon, it wasn't about amassing more stuff. It was about, I don't know, somewhere along my life something changed, but you were taught, don't throw away at least my dad taught me, don't throw away something useful. And that's probably one of the worst things you can tell your kids. I have met friends of mine who are minimalists and don't have but a 30-piece mechanics tool set, and that's their entire tools set, entire tool of any kind in their house. It's like, and I'm thinking to myself, who doesn't have a spatula for drywall? Who doesn't have a grouting a grouting saw or a tile saw or this or that? I mean, and those are just the hand tools. Don't get me started on the other tools. So I'm looking at my lathe here. I'm looking at my drill press. They've been sitting for years without being touched. The vacuum is handed to me from a friend, and it's never been turned on yet. This one's I want to say it's a Harbor Freight, but it's blue. Did Harbor Freight make a blue? No, shoe line. What the hell is this? Short line. Shop line, jet. It's a jet. Okay, it's a jet. Well,
Wow.
That's a big difference than Harbor Freight. But anyway, yeah, I got a jet dust collector here with the bag and everything sitting, never been turned on. Why? I don't have a space for it.
I know the feeling. Jim Darko says, make room for Javi.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. I can't wait. Oh man, guys, I am so anxious to start and finish that build and start packing that place and filming the shop design, the shop build, the shop everything. So one day at a time. I mean, I got to tell you, it's funny because when I started working on the property, I was at a point where in the past everything was about the future. What do I got to look forward to? What do I got to look forward to? What do I got to look forward to? You
Hmm.
never I was never I was, but I wasn't completely content with the present. There were a few moments where I was content. When I got married, when I bought my house, when those are moments where you go, life is good. I'm just going to enjoy it.
Yep.
And I got married the first couple years, and then you have a child and life is good in your first couple years. You have another child, life is good. Next couple years, you watch them grow, life is good. So there's been a lot of living in the present for me since I got married, a house, and the works. And then there was a point where I don't want to say it starts to get stagnant, but the kids are in school. It's same old thing, same old thing, same old thing. I love them, love my wife, but it's not. It's not I don't know. I don't know what to call it. It's not an epiphany moment. And then all of a sudden, we just I start getting into woodworking. This was years back, or rather, getting into woodworking fervently. Not just as an occasional project, but as a full time. I plan to do this for the rest of my life for fun, with all my spare time. And at that point, you know, how many of you have had, like a stagnant or a slow turn in your life, and then when you have a new project, a new rabbit hole, a new direction, all of a sudden you get that influx of hope, that influx of energy, that influx of I want to learn everything about this, you know,
Right.
and it's very difficult. It you got to envy
I was there. I
you,
was
you got
there six
you,
years ago.
you got to envy dumb people. You really got to envy dumb people, because at the pace that they learn, they're always in that state.
Hmm.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. But when you've got a certain level of intelligence, like most of us here in this community do, we'll pick up on stuff right away, and the stuff gets boring and the stuff gets old real fast, and we need our next fix. You know, um, I mean, I enjoy CNC for quite a while, and I can always create different things, and I enjoy woodworking in general and all this. But um, generally, we tend to, move on to the next project.
Yeah.
Um, we did that. Like you'll do a lithofame, and then I mean I've seen it throughout the whole entire community. Wow, I'm gonna get into doing lithophanes. Oh, those are cool. I get to show light through them. Oh, that's fantastic. Learn everything they can about it. How do I do this? How do I do that? Okay, I did it. That's boring. I did that.
Looking for the next thing.
Looking for the next
Uh,
thing.
yeah. I still haven't done one of those yet. I need to do that.
Dave Gatton comes to mind with the 3D printing. I
Yep.
went through that about the same time he did, because I had a 3D printer sitting collecting dust that I had never turned on. A buddy of mine gave it to me as payment for a loan, and I said, "Yeah, sure," and I took it because that kept our friendship. But um, it just sat there for a year and a half, and then Dave comes along and goes, "Hey, I'm going to get into 3D printing," and then he inspires me. So about a month or two later, I start setting up my 3D printer, and then we were all in that world. We bought our different filaments, and we did our two or three stupid little toys or
Hmm.
contraptions or useful things, and then it's gone. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I know
And
that.
the for some people, like Patrick from
He's
Patrick's
one.
Workshop, I heal, and Ashley's another one. I mean, they will
Hmm.
continue to create and create and continue to create, and it's a fantastic thing for them. You know,
Yeah.
and I get it. I understand everybody's got their thing. I mean, a lot of people enjoy, like Dave right now is enjoying the vinyl signs.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that when I was doing my business. I loved vinyl signs. And then 2 years after I was in vinyl signs became the most boring thing in the world for me. And then add another 8 years where I'm actually forced to do vinyl signs because that's the business. Now I hate vinyl signs,
I
And the
hear
same
you.
thing, and the same thing happened with the laser engraver. Everybody goes through their little, oh wow, it's so cool to have a laser. Been there, done that. I did it before, and I am so burned out with lasers that my laser, which caught on fire in 2009, is still sitting in my warehouse because I haven't had the desire to to just spend the time to fix it because it's a simple CNC.
Mm-hmm.
Spend the time to put the belts back on and clean up the rails because I don't want a laser. When I do, I've got a $20,000 machine waiting for me. But
Mm.
but that's the thing. That's the thing. We all go through this,
Yeah.
and so I'm very happy about the property because it it did a. I was living in the present for a good year or two. When I looked forward to going to the property and 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 trimming the brush. Then I looked forward to going home because I missed my family. Then I looked forward to going. This was monthly. Then I looked forward again. I was home. Now I look forward again to going to the property to do the fence. Then I went looking forward to go home. And then the whole entire first year, year and a half, or 2 years of owning that property, it's been such a joy because you always look forward. Right now, I'm sitting here at home and I'm looking forward to finishing the Javi boxes. I am looking forward to that. Not today because I'm not, my mind's burned out from today, but looking forward to catching up. And then I'm looking forward to going back up there. I really am because I've got my next project is finally to finish as much of the bamboo as I can and concentrate on that, you know. And then you know, but for a while there, I got to tell you, Russ, for a while there with the property, I was a little stagnant. I was doing stuff. I was maintaining the property because I had to, not because I wanted to, and I didn't like that feeling at all
Mm.
because I thought I would
That
always love it.
old bamboo whipped your butt.
Well, it wasn't so much the bamboo. It was that there was nothing new.
Mm.
It kind of reflects. Yeah, that sounds good, Dave. Let me try to reboot and see if it fixes it. I'll be right back because it did it last time. Apparently, Dave is you're having a very very lousy. And the funny part is, I see it fine here.
Yeah, but you're blurry.
Let me try. Let me try it once again.
You only have a minute and a half left for your hour and a half.
I don't know if it worked or not, but let me know.
It's better.
All right. Well, something is something. But
Jim Dockel is leaving us tonight. Good night, Jim.
hi, Jim. So yeah, it was so funny because it was also self evident in my YouTube. I was filming everything for I was filming everything for the uh, Make Room for Javi series, and I was
Mm-hmm.
doing this and doing this and doing this, and then it got to the point where it's funny because I was bored, but at the same time, it reflected in the videos. It's like, oh my God, I'm doing this new, I'm doing this. What am I going to show today? Oh, I'm cutting more trees, or I'm cutting more branches, or I'm cutting more bamboo, or it's the same stuff over and over and over. And
Yeah.
I mean, this. is expected to be the same thing over and over. It's me chatting and it's a soldering chat. That's fine. That's what everybody expects. That's why everybody's here. Killing time, entertainment, whatever. Hearing the occasional rambling from me, but not maybe not so occasional.
I was going to say occasional.
Maybe 24/7. But Saturday shows are fantastic. People are loving Saturday shows because I mean, last week it was basic CNC and I got a lot of comments on it. And this week was the electronics. This upcoming Saturday is going to be college projects for college kids. And I'll come up with something new every week. So it'll be different and it'll be quick. It'll be 1 hour and it won't be any more. So people are enjoying it. I'm having fun doing it, although it's a lot more work than I care for. But if it becomes too much work, I just drop these sessions and work on them then. But
yeah,
yep, that. There's a lot of that going around, Paul. That's exactly what happened to me. Is I had a problem quite a while. The place that I lasted the longest, oddly enough, was when I started when I was just before I was 18 years old. My boss lied about my age. 2 months before my 18th birthday, I got a job at Radio Shack, and I worked at the Shack on and off for a total of 5 years over a 10 or 12-year period. I mean, it was during my 20s, I spent a lot of years working in the Shack. I mean, I was ping-ponging between Radio Shack and they kept on my first boss said it best. P.T. Barnum was right. He quoted P.T. Barnum and he said, everyone rises to his own level of incompetence. And I'm thinking to myself, he goes, what the hell does that mean? He goes, you'll find out. Because I was very gung-ho about Radio Shack and all, and I loved the Shack, and at one time I actually thought that was my future. Wow. And then so it's not a bad future for some people, but that wasn't for me. So he explained it to me this way. He says, in Radio Shack, you get promoted. I mean, you do well and you get promoted. You do well, you get promoted. You do well, you get promoted. Pretty soon you're assistant manager. You do well, you get promoted to manager. Then you do well and you get promoted to manager of a better store. And basically you keep doing better and you get promoted until you do not do better anymore. Okay. At that point, you get fired. Because a lot of people in a lot of companies, it's just, you reach a ceiling where you've got, I mean, anybody that's been in the rat race knows there is a ceiling that you reach and you just can't go above it because either people are smarter than you above it or because there's no room up there and they're not getting willing to share the space. Now, I've always gotten to the top because I've been the smart one, but even in Radio Shack, I'll give you I'll give you my story. I was promoted. I would do it as a college job on and off. And then when I considered it seriously, I went wholeheartedly. I was promoted to assistant manager. I was doing so well as assistant manager that they had me, and I was heavy duty into computers. This was at the time where the Tandy 1000s were coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So it was actually pre-Tandy. No, it was about the Tandy 1000 time. They were opening up what they call Z stores. They had X stores, Y stores, and Z stores. An X store was retail. A Y store was a computer store, and a Z store was a combination of both. So what would happen is, and I don't know why they did it this way, but they did. They had a whole. Some of the stores sold computers, but they weren't a computer store. They just sold them there. Some of them were a dedicated section where it was a computer store. There was never a computer store by itself, or very rarely. But so I was hired to be the manager of a computer store. However, I reported to the manager of the retail store, who was an old guy who didn't know or trust computers.
Yeah.
So I never got, so I had to have everything approved by him, and I never got anything approved. So basically, they moved me. Well, actually, no, that was the end of the story. The beginning was I got promoted from assistant manager of the retail department to assistant manager of a computer store, of a Y store in Westland Mall, which anybody that knows Miami, it was the second biggest Radio Shack in all of Miami. And the reason being is because it had a lot of connections from Argentina and all South American countries. We would ship a lot of computers out there. Now, they all knew that stuff. Well, what happens now? They wanted to open up in the biggest store, which was oddly enough just in a couple intersections in Miami, very close to where I live. It wasn't because it's a rich part of town. The biggest store was the biggest store because they sold a lot of stereos there, not because they sold a lot of computers. But they outsold that other one, even with all the computers. So they were selling a lot. They decided to open up a whole computer department in that store. Number one, it wasn't meant to be a computer department. Number two, they stuck me in there with a boss that doesn't trust computers. So I wasn't allowed to make it grow. In the end, the computer department failed, and I was demoted to regular salesman. At that point, I left the company again, and again, everyone rises to his own level of incompetence. Going back to Paul, promoted to your level of incompetence. That's it. So at the moment, I agree with Paul wholeheartedly. And it was shortly after that time where, I started venturing on my own. And before the word entrepreneur, well, I guess it's been around for a while, but it wasn't in vogue. Entrepreneur and small business owner and stuff like that. It was one thing that led to another, that led to another. I never looked back. The rest of my life has been ups and downs, and every down has been a learning experience. And I've created my share of businesses and have lost a few, folded a few, but have been very successful. And the ones that were successful, well, luckily carry me on to this day. But and even some of the ones that have failed, I still keep some of the old customers and service them from way back when. But I see a lot of that with a lot of different people. A lot of people just, they don't do an official business. They don't do business plans. They just sell stuff on their own. I don't call that a business. I call that just working for yourself and selling stuff. It's basically the adult version of a lemonade stand. But or mowing the grass. Basically the adult version of mowing the lawn for $5. Boy, $5, those were the days.
Yeah.
It's $40 now, and that's cheap.
That's cheap.
And then but it's let me tell you, one thing that I've learned in life as far as being a business owner, there's a lot of employees out there that are very, very comfortable being an employee, and they can handle the day-to-day monotony. And in some ways, I've known many business owners, including myself, that are very envious of them, because you're on the one hand, a business owner will say, "Oh, I could set my own hours. I could make my own rules." Yeah, but what's easier? Having a guarantee that you're going to have money if you just do what they tell you to do, or set your own hours, but you have to work twice as many of them. Set your own agenda, but you have to make sure that most of that agenda includes sales call after sales call after sales call, because now you got to sell yourself to people. It's not just work for somebody, clock in and clock out. It's actual work. There's a difference between, like I'll put my own painting contracting company as an example. There are times where I would love to be one of my employees. Yeah, I'd earn far less, but you know what? They show up. I tell them what they have to do. They're skilled enough to know what order to do it in. They go do. They finish after X number of hours. They come back the next day, do more, finish, etc., and it's very, very simple. It's mind-numbingly simple. And they have other people to talk to while they're there. They listen to the radio. They enjoy themselves. They laugh. They joke. I mean, we all been in a work environment with other employees, And then what do? I give them their orders. I don't go home and sit on my laurels. I basically got to go and hunt for the next job. At least I did. I put in my time, but again, you got to go continue to schmooze the people that are giving you business. You got to go to attend a bunch of meetings and a bunch of lunch meetings and continue to say, "Hey, I'm a painting contractor. You need painting? I'm a advertise this, that, Go to a job, do an estimate, negotiate and read the person if the guy doesn't like the estimate exactly, or just plain say, see you later." And that's the toughest part, saying no to somebody, especially when you're short of work. Now you find you're making a lot less money. And then you have the other problem that what happens when you've tied up all your men on a job that's barely making you money and you get an opportunity to do this huge job, but it's got to start immediately. So that's another thing you have to take into account when you're pricing a job. If I commit all my men to this, will I risk losing something huge down the line? But if I don't, will I risk losing my men because they won't have a job down the line? Let me tell you, it's I don't know which is worse. But anyway, so it's 9:45, so it's about time to call it for tonight. So you guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you all possibly tomorrow night. I might have another show going on.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing it every day this week. I gotta get on the ball and I gotta catch up with the soldering and stuff. I want to see if I push myself this week. So you guys all have a wonderful evening. Hopefully I'll have a better connection, and good night all.
Good night, everybody.
And thank you for joining us. Now I gotta go to the computer that actually has the off switch.
Yeah, because we're still live.
Not for long. Have a great day.